fired, divorced, broke, all three in the same year, at 35 years old. Most people hit one of those walls in a lifetime. This man hit all three at the same time. And what he did next, nobody saw coming. Not even him. His name was David. And at 34, life looked exactly the way it was supposed to. A senior position at a company he had given 10 years to. A marriage he believed in. A mortgage on a house that felt like permanence. He had done everything right. Followed every rule, checked every box, built everything they told him to build. And then, in the space of 11 months, it all came apart. It started with the job. A Monday morning in November. His manager called him into a meeting room. 3 people he didn't recognize were already sitting there. HR legal, someone from the executive team. David knew before he sat down. 10 years. 10 years of early mornings, late nights, missed weekends, vacations he never took. Gone. In a meeting that lasted 12 minutes. He drove home in silence. Walked through the front door. His wife was in the kitchen. She turned around, looked at his face, and said, "We need to talk too." She had been unhappy for a long time. David knew that. He had told himself he would fix it after the next promotion, after the next project, after things slowed down at work. But things never slowed down. And now, there was nothing left to slow down for. She wasn't cruel. She wasn't angry. She was just done. And somehow, that was worse. The next 6 months were a blur. Lawyers, paperwork, dividing a life into boxes. The house was sold. David moved into a small apartment. 2 rooms, 1 window, a view of a parking lot. He was 35 years old. Starting from scratch, in every direction. The money ran out faster than he expected. Severance, legal fees, the deposit on the apartment. By month 8, he had less than $2,000 in his account. He applied for jobs. 43 applications, 8 interviews, 0 offers. The market had changed. His industry had changed. 10 years of experience in one company looked different on paper than he thought it did. There was a night, in the middle of all of this, that David described as the lowest point. He was sitting in his apartment, eating cereal for dinner, because it was what he could afford. And he looked around at those 2 rooms. The boxes he still hadn't unpacked, the silence where a life used to be. And he thought, this is it. This is what 10 years of doing everything right looks like. He sat there for a long time. Then he did something strange. He laughed, not because it was funny, but because in that moment, something shifted. He realized that the life he had lost was never really his. It was the life he had been told to want. The title, the mortgage, the marriage that looked right from the outside. He had been living someone else's blueprint, and it had taken losing all of it to finally see that. The next morning, David opened his laptop, not to apply for another job, to ask himself a question he had never asked before. If I could build anything, what would it be? He wrote for 3 hours. Not a CV, not a cover letter, a vision. For 10 years, David had watched his company make the same mistakes, over and over again. Hiring wrong, managing wrong, building teams that fell apart. because nobody understood people. David understood people. It was the one thing he had always been told was his greatest strength. So he decided to build something around it, a consultancy, helping companies hire better, build better teams, keep the people they spent years finding. He had no clients, no reputation outside his old company, no money for marketing. He had a laptop, a phone, and 10 years of watching things go wrong that he now knew how to fix. He reached out to every contact he had, not to ask for a job, to offer something. I know how to fix your people problems. Let me show you. First session free. Most people didn't respond. Some said no. 3 said yes. Those 3 clients turned into 6. 6 turned into 15. David worked from his apartment, from coffee shops, from his car between meetings. He charged less than he was worth because he needed the work more than the money, and he delivered more than he promised. Every single time. Month 6 of his consultancy. One of his clients referred him to a company with 800 employees and a people problem that had been costing them millions. David spent 2 months working with them, fixed the problem. They renewed, then referred him to 2 more companies. 1 year after losing his job, David's consultancy was generating more money than his old salary ever had. 2 years after, he had a team of 7 people. 3 years after that Monday morning in November, when 3 people he didn't recognize ended 10 years in 12 minutes. David's company was valued at $4 million. A journalist asked him once, "If you could go back, would you have done anything differently?" David thought for a moment, then smiled and said, "I would have gotten fired sooner. I would have let the marriage end sooner. I would have stopped building someone else's life years before the world forced me to. Losing everything at 35 was the best thing that ever happened to me. Not because it was easy, but because it was the first time in 10 years that I had no choice but to build something that was actually mine." Here is what David taught me. We spend years building lives that look right from the outside. The job with the title, the house with the mortgage, the relationship that checks the boxes, and we hold on to them, even when they stop fitting, because the fear of losing them is greater than the pain of staying, until the choice is made for us. David didn't choose to lose everything, but he chose what to do with the space that losing everything created. And in that space, he finally built something that was worth keeping. So if your life is falling apart right now, if the job is gone, the relationship is over, the plan has failed, ask yourself what David asked. Not, how do I get back what I lost? But, now that it's gone, what do I actually want to build? Because sometimes, the life that falls apart was never meant to hold you forever. It was just the scaffolding for the one you were always supposed to live. Subscribe. Every week, one story, one lesson, one reminder that losing everything is not the end of your story. It is the moment, your real one, finally begins.